We're a nation of adrenaholics.
She is as irreverent as she is relevant.
You want to go from oh no to aha.
She'll open your eyes, your heart, and your mind, and you'll never see the world in quite the same way.
I want every cell in my body to be relating to every other cell and going whoopee!
Join author, stress expert, and humorist Loretta Laroche for Juicy Living, Juicy Aging, next.
Welcome to my show, and welcome PBS viewers. Now you're looking around and you're saying, what is all this fruit about? Well, this show is not about fruit, but there's a metaphor, and it will unfold. The title of this show is Juicy Living, Juicy Aging. Now, I have taught stress management for a good 25 to 30 years, and I have to tell you, it's really getting on my nerves. In fact, I think I'm pretty sick to death of it. We're a nation of adrenaholics. There isn't a day that doesn't go by when somebody meets me and they ask me what I do, and I say I teach stress, and they go, "You do? Can you help me?" But I want to see how many of you are stressed, so I'm going to do a little overview. How many of you have been stressed the past week? Raise your hand. The past 3 or 4 weeks? The past several months? Several years? Your entire life? What did I tell you? Adrenaholics. Right here in the room. Now, what do you think happens when you're stressed? You get tired. You get exhausted. It's very hard to navigate the world, isn't it? Because your brain is always feeding you information that makes you miserable. Wah, wah, wah. Now, what do all of us really want in life? I don't know about you, but I want energy. I want energy. I want to feel pumped. I want every cell in my body to be relating to every other cell and going whoopee! So, how can we get this energy? Well, we want to be juicy, don't we? We want to be juicy. And you know, I had some really juicy role models, and those are my grandparents. My grandmother, Francesca, could stand on her feet all day long. She never said, "Oh, I can't take it anymore, I gotta sit down." And Conchetta, my great-grandmother, actually died on the way to playing cards at 95. She played the banjo, and she didn't wear underwear. Not even a thong. Now, how many of you think aging is a disease? Raise your hands. It's not a disease. And you know, my grandparents didn't see it that way either. So as we move along here, I want to give you the reasons that I came up with this concept of juicy aging. And one of the reasons I thought of it was I went back in time, and I remember going to the market with my grandmother with the little net bag. You know, we went down to the Italian section, and we would go into all the little stores, not like now when you go into a warehouse and you got to look around. You went to the butcher, you went to the bakery, and you went to the fruit stand. And one of the things that she always told me to do was to feel the fruit. Feel it. Touch it. See if it had a bounce-back quality. And especially with cantaloupes. You want to know when you cut that fruit in half, it spurts. We should all be spurting. Because you don't think about buying a piece of fruit that's dried up, do you? You don't go to the market and say, let me take that one, look at it. It's all wrinkled and pruny, that's the one I want. Well, consider yourself a piece of fruit. You want to be plump and juicy and squirting. So I've come up with a theorem. E equals F-E-J-U. Energy equals feeling juicy. And how are we gonna feel juicy? Well, it takes some time, but we can do it in some simple ways, and I think we ought to start with a simple way. And one of the ways we can do that is with our language. Our language, the things we say to ourselves and to other people. You know, the brain does not just create language. Language also creates the brain. An author, Joseph Jaworski, has stated this view of the importance of language with great eloquence in his book, Synchronicity, The Inner Path of Leadership. I had always thought we used language to describe the world. Now I was seeing that was not the case. To the contrary, it is through language that we create the world, because it's nothing until we describe it. And when we describe it, we create distinctions that govern our actions. To put it another way, we do not describe the world we see the world we describe. And I think that is ultimately an incredibly profound concept. And I want you to consider how you describe your world, starting from the get-go. If somebody says to you, how are you? What do you say? Most people say, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm fine, I'm not bad. Could be better. Oh, why didn't you make it better? Whatever. And then there's the new one, the new words, you know, that people use now to act spiritual. It is what it is. They say that to everybody. There's a much better way to shift our language so that you get a much higher emotional response. And here's some of the words I would like to share with you that will make a difference. One of them is, I feel exuberant. Exuberant. Wow. Much better than fine. I feel succulent. Succulent. Delicious, remarkable, amazing, brilliant. And my most favorite word, I feel moist. Moist. How many of us love moisture? We need moisture, otherwise we dry up. So I would like all of you to get that sensation by repeating these words after me on the count of 3. I want you to look at somebody, because it's much more powerful if you look at somebody. And I know some of you are a little uneasy. Oh, I don't know if I want to feel moist. Not today. Succulent, I don't think so. But give it a shot, because nothing, you can't feel anything unless you try it. So look at somebody next to you, and on the count of 3, I want you to say in your most juicy way. And believe me, there is a difference. I don't want you to say, I feel succulent. I feel succulent. It's got to have some pizzazz. All right, are you ready? Okay, look at somebody. On the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.